Hey yo, what is good? It's your boy BK back with another video. As we know, Madden 24 is right around the corner. I'm talking about we are days out now. Some people already got the game early from Amazon. I wasn't lucky to have been a part of that, so I'm gonna just wait to download the game when it's ready. Either way, there is some gameplay that's out on Eric Mayweather's channel, so I just wanted to kind of loop that video in, kind of talk about it, get some ideas from that gameplay on if this is going to be something we're going to enjoy, something we're going to hate. Either way, I'm going to critique it honestly, and we're going to figure out whether or not this is going to be a game that's, going to be pleasant for us this year. And I'm hoping so, because I really plan to have a big year. I really want to do some competing this year. So let's see. Let's hop into it.
It's officially Madden 24 season, and I'm here to bring you some early Madden 24 gameplay. This video is presented by the EA Creator Network, as they have allowed me to capture this early footage from my home. We're going to do a couple of quick gameplays so that you can get an idea of what the game is looking and playing like this year. Now, we're starting off with Jalen Hurts, who is now an X-Factor player, and we're...
All right, off top, already have an issue. Now I don't know if it's because he's playing the computer or if it's well, I can only assume it's because he's playing the computer. Typically, at least when I play Madden, I always put for QB option, I always put it to play the quarterback because if we're talking about QB mobility is going to be much better, and we're talking about scrambler quarterbacks possibly being a lot better this year, them not playing or the computer not playing this option, it could be a problem. I guess we're gonna have to see. What I can probably assume is going to be a lot of offense based around option, read option, and QB wraps, which is always a problem in the game. So we're gonna have to, kind of keep a close eye on this once the game drop and see whether or not that's gonna be a thing. But let's hop back into it.
We're going to use his legs, and we're going to work with the fast break ability as we're breaking a big run already. The Eagles have a bunch of fun and unique new formations and plays in their playbook, so we're trying some of them out as we're going downfield.
Okay, so I liked that play right there. This is why. Now that is a linebacker that got absolutely destroyed on that, but he should have got destroyed on that route. It's man coverage. He's a slower linebacker in comparison to the tight end on that route. He should beat him. Now, whether or not that translates to a DB being on the field, that's going to be something that we're also going to have to look at and see. But as I stated in my previous video on Madden 24 gameplay, I'm glad that man coverage isn't going to be something that you can just set it and forget it and just be a complete idiot on defense and just decide that that's all you have to do to stop somebody. So I kind of like that rep right there. So let's get back into it.
With a big play already against the Ravens. Also, I need to let you guys know to keep in mind that I'm playing a slightly earlier build of the game than what is going to release in a couple of days, so this is technically still a work in progress build that I'm on, and some minor things.
Nothing really to see there. Regular rep, I'm good with that. Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that. That DB was manned up, right? Typically, man coverage in most years, the DB will kind of run the route for the man. He actually got into his break, got ahead of the receiver, and he was still able to complete that pass. A lot of people will say, no, that's not how man should work in Madden. But I mean, if we're quote unquote stating that, Madden should kind of mimic real life, there's but so long that a DB can actually cover somebody. So for him to be able to outrun him, a faster receiver and possibly a slower DB, I like that interaction. So again, can't sit in man coverage and just pray that, your defense is gonna, produce a sack. I like that. I like that rep. Another rep that I liked.
On the sideline, notice in between a lot of the plays now, you're gonna see players show more emotion. You might see him chirp at each other.
I don't like all that emotion after the play.
As we're breaking around the edge with the new run.
That's a little bit concerning to me too. The defense absolutely did not react to the running back, to the handoff. Everything was blocked up. I'm hoping this is not a big running year. I hate running Madden, so I'm hoping that's not going to be a thing. I'm hoping early on there's going to be some defense. Although I do know they did state that, hey, you're not going to be able to run the same run and play, more than a few times without the defense catching on. But we're going to have to see what that looks like again when the game drops. But that was a little bit concerning to me.
Blocking that has been upgraded this year, and we're scoring with the new Eagle Rashad Penny. There's also a lot of new celebrations, like I said, between plays.
Yeah, I don't care about the celebrations. I felt like the celebrations the year before was a little bit too much, and it kind of slowed the game down, so I'm not a fan of that.
To the defensive side of the ball. We got to see if we can slow down the Ravens' rushing attack, and we wrap up the running back with Nakobe Dean. And you can see after the play here.
Now, that was a decent rep of the defenders keying in on the run game. That was a good wrap tackle right there. I kind of like that. No KO. I liked that. But again, he might not have that ability, so.
He's showing some emotion in between the plays. Now we got Mark Andrews. Gonna see if we can wrap up the running back here. We stop him short.
Okay, now I'm kind of noticing this on a couple of reps. And this has always kind of been a thing with the game. How they deal with momentum. Now, on those, or maybe on the rep where the tight end was met with two people right at the first down marker, I might understand that. But most times, if it's one-on-one, guys will kind of fight for the extra yard, or at least be able to fall forward. I mean, I know Madden isn't based on like a physics engine per se, but I don't know. I'm kind of up and down on that, because it's always it never fails when you need like an inch. You always get this weird animation where you should be falling forward, however you're falling backwards, and it might be a running back that's 250 pounds getting knocked back by a DB that's like 215. So I don't know how to feel about that, but I guess again we're gonna have to see.
Coming up is third down. We're trying to get off the field, and Lamar Jackson is behind the receiver. He goes for the.
Ooh, okay, that's big. Okay, now there's a few ways you can kind of think about how that looked. 4th and 2, huge down. Conventional thinking is the computer thought, okay, well, I have a DB in front of me. Let me throw it behind the receiver so that he can make a catch. However, the catch was so far behind the DB that it was no way he was going to catch that ball. Now, was that something that is built into the game as like a dice roll, or is that something that he did because he tried to, throw it in that direction? Not sure, but I would absolutely lose my mind if it's a 4th and 2 in a huge situation and my quarterback just throws it weird behind the receiver for absolutely no reason with possibly no lead. So that might be something that might be a concern in the game.
And here go the Eagles kind of showing off a little bit in between the plays. They're going to go for a 4th down, and we're going to shut it down with Nakobe Dean.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like in a situation like that, when Nakobe Dean going for the running back's legs, any running back is going to pick that up in a one-on-one situation. Put your head down, get a yard, boom. Now, I'm not saying that animation should play out where he falls forward every single time, but the fact is that is a running back that gets paid to get those inches, and you just can't seem to get them because of a weird animation. Not a huge fan of that.
You can see the Eagles celebrating as they've gotten the ball back for their offense, and J.K. Dobbins is looking a little disappointed. Now we're back with Jalen Hurts and company. We're rolling out, and we're going to see.
Rolling out's going to be an issue this year. There's a nice juke. That's a good play. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're going to have to live on contain, boys, because if you could just get out the pocket like that and extend plays. And I haven't really seen anybody talk about how, pressure kind of affects the game as of yet. Man coverage isn't going to be as good, so you're not going to be able to man blitz. But if you can get outside the pocket like that, that's going to be an issue, especially if once we get into the seasons of mud, where we get a QB that is high 90 speed with escape artist, with abilities on your line. We really going to have to see what that's going to look like. But rolling out is going to be an issue.
Yard line with just a little bit of time left in the first half. We're going to see if we can finish this drive and punch it in. We're going to go with the RPO.
I hate RPOs because they never pay attention.
For a touchdown. Speaking of touchdown, why don't you go ahead and touch down on that subscribe button for me if you're still here at this part of the video and you haven't subscribed.
Yeah, hey, I'm using his content. It is what it is. I don't have any gameplay. He has gameplay. EA gives people releases of the game. Go ahead, shoot him a follow. I know I'm not a big channel, and who am I to shout somebody out? But if you're watching this, go give him a follow. He's actually a pretty cool guy. He's very active on Twitter. Hit him up.
I'm going to be delivering a ton of great Madden content all year long, and I would love for you to be a part of the family. Now, the Ravens have a little bit of time left to try and get some points here. We just got to play defense, and you can see the Lamar Jackson.
Now, there wasn't nothing really too major in that play right there. That was all right.
More inaccuracies than normal, which some people might like because it adds for more realism. And here,
But once again, another running back getting loose where the defense has no idea what's going on.
When you've got Justin Tucker, you don't need much more than this, and I think
Good throw.
the Ravens got it. This is a long long field goal, but when you got the GOAT, you can kick it from the 50-yard line, and it doesn't matter. That's good.
No issues with those reps.
I'm switching sides. I'm taking over the Ravens now, and I'm going to see if I can complete this comeback in only 3-minute quarters, so that's not a lot of time. Now, the momentum is completely in the Eagles' favor, so we've got to try to march down the field and turn the tables a little bit. So
look at how man got destroyed on that play. Absolutely destroyed. Every receiver got open except for the post on the right-hand side of the field. So, I mean, all good things right there. I enjoyed seeing that. I mean, it was from a tight compressed set, so you won't really get that bump and you won't really get them to, you know, correctly line up, but still like that rep.
We're going to our best option, Mark Andrews, who gets
held onto the ball with the hit, liked it.
We're going to see here if we can get some of these new guys involved, but we're going to double
check down.
to J.K. Dobbins,
nothing crazy.
Safe yards and keep it moving. We're going to go back to J.K. Dobbins here on the ground. Going to try to get to the outside here, pick up the first down, and keep it moving.
DB's taking weird angles.
Into the offensive coordinator, and Lamar Jackson saying, come on, we need to hurry this up. We're going to go with a play action.
There's a rollout after a play action.
And we're going to see if we can hit our receiver.
I like that. I like that animation. That was a linebacker making a play on a rollout. I like that. I liked that a lot. What a catch. I don't know what abilities OBJ has on, but I know for a fact he has high spec catch. So what I'm hoping that carries over in, you know, to the final game or MUT, where you have guys that might have a, you know, particularly high a spec catch or a particularly high this or a particularly high that, and that shows on the field. Now, that play was a good play. He beat the guy to the spot. He made a catch. He laid out for it. It wasn't no weird KO animation. It was an organic catch. I liked that rep. That was a good rep.
But when you got Odell, you can lay out and you can make those crazy catches. Now, like I was just saying, rollouts definitely seem a lot better this year. They're not as overpowered as when escape artists.
I don't know if I agree with you there, buddy.
So you're gonna have to keep QB spots.
That was a solid catch. No KO. I like that a lot. Man gets torched again. Look at that. Okay, so now again, I don't know how this is going to translate to MUT, so let me put that disclaimer out there. But I liked the animation, the interaction between the receiver and the DB. It was very organic and it was very realistic. He made the catch. He tried to kind of grab or bump him to try to make the ball come out. He kind of cradled it a little bit with one hand and he got up the field and he kind of dove. Like that is what, when you are in man coverage, and this is based on anybody that's played any down of football or played receiver or played, you know this. If you are in man coverage and you are behind and you are beat, that is what should happen. I have no problem with that rep right there.
Keep breaking tackles, and he's inside the 5. Now we just got to try to finish this out. We're going to try to scramble again with Lamar, but Nakobe Dean is continuing.
Okay. Hey, I don't know if the computer decided to contain or what that looked like. I might have to go back and take a look at that rep, but it wasn't to a point where he got outside the pocket. The computer took a terrible angle because he was rolling out and he couldn't make the play. That was a good organic play of a quarterback rolling out and a play being made. So maybe I might have to change my stance on, you know, rolling out quarterbacks, but we'll see.
To make plays all game long. Now we're starting the fourth quarter. We're going to go with a QB wrap here. Beautiful blocking, perfect play call.
Yeah, QB wrap's going to be an issue this year. They paid zero attention to the QB. But that's nothing new, truthfully. Yeah, that was a pretty bad rep. Good catch. Terrible tackle animation, but I might can live with that.
They're kind of chirping at each other a little between the play. Again, I really like that. It's a nice touch. And here, Devontae Smith burns us, but he drops.
Ooh, I don't know about that. See, this is the thing. When you try to make things too organic or too realistic and you add things like that into a game, could you imagine if you are playing a money game, a competitive game, you're playing an MCS game, and your wide receiver that destroyed the press drops that pass? Okay.
Game. This year, when you man press, good receivers are going to get off that press against lesser DBs a lot easier.
Well, that's good. I like that.
We went for it right there, and we should have paid the price, but
It's a good hit.
I don't know if he would drop that one too much in real life, but we'll take it. And
Yeah, I agree. And I don't believe in just taking that. I ain't like that.
We're all over the screen and we do
Ooh.
stop it. So now we are gonna
Ooh. Okay, that they did say something about screenplays not having predictive outcomes, meaning like whoever's manning up just won't know to go to it. But that screen looked covered, so I don't know how much stock to put into that assessment for what they were talking about. So
gonna get a money drive to win the game, and we're going to Nelson Aguilar in
man
the
coverage,
scene. What a big
man
catch
coverage.
he got.
That's what it should look like when you have a step on somebody.
Gotta pick up play quick. The time is ticking. We can tie it up, but I'm going for it all. I'm trying to see if I can get this W. I don't want to go to OT against the Eagles defense. We got Odell Beckham.
Solid pocket.
Catches it. One thing you'll notice this year.
That was nice. That was nice, and it was organic. That's that spin catch which kept him going upfield. Typically, well, at least in 23, when you catch that, you slow down, which gives a defender a chance to either try to knock the ball out, make a play, get a KO on it. That was a nice animation. I did like that a lot.
Especially, they catch and stride much better over the top, and even in situations like that where the ball was behind.
Tick, 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 tick.
We're gonna have Odell again.
Oh, Odell, there it goes.
They let him beat him the same route 2 times.
Out of bounds at the 1? Yeah.
We got 1 second left. It's the last play of the game. We're going for the win. We got Odell.
That's a dot.
But he holds on. This is vintage Odell.
Now, I'm kind of iffy on that, and maybe because again he's playing the computer. If there's an interaction between a user and a user, I would like to see that if someone tried to hit stick him while he was making contact with that ball, the ball may come out. Like I said, I don't want it to be a KO animation, all the time, but I mean something that makes sense in the idea of actual football. If someone gets hit while they're trying to make a catch, there should be some type of physics that come into play. So again, I don't know if that's because he's playing a computer. I'm kind of up and down about that play. It's going to take reps. It's going to take some feel for me to kind of figure out whether or not that's going to be something that's going to be it's always going to happen, or is it going to be more of a crapshoot. But I mean, overall, if that's the last play of the game, I mean, gameplay wasn't bad. Is it better than 23? Probably, but I'm just excited to get my hands on the game. I'm ready to get into the lab. I'm really ready to get to see what works versus what, and kind of make my own like completely educated guess about the game. So
game-winning drive. Darius Slay was all over it, but he was just a half second too late, and Odell makes a crazy catch.
I actually like the celebration at the end of the game. Oh, I didn't even realize he was doing a game too. Okay, cool. Let's rock with it. This is the first time I'm watching this, so I didn't know it was a game too.
Presentation right there that's cool to see, because we see him do that in real life. So to start off, we're gonna be with the new look Jets here. McCole Hardman with a good return. I'm rocking some of these new.
Everyone's gonna be in red. Is gonna be in the Jets, guaranteed. They are clearly the best team.
Madden does have some of these new alternate throwback jerseys in the game. I don't believe they have them all in yet. They'll definitely get in with an update.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, you missed the read. You missed the read. Let's go back to that.
Green, and now we've got the throwback Jets jerseys. Madden does have some of these new alternate throwback jerseys in the game. I don't believe they have them all in yet. They'll definitely get in.
Look at A. A was naked. I don't know how he missed that read. I guess maybe he was just trying to like walk the ball down the field just to kind of give us an idea of what the game looks like. But wow, that's a terrible miss right there.
With an update for sure, but the ones that are in, I had to use them because they just look so clean. And right there, we almost threw a pick. The defense plays a lot better on some of those.
X is wide open.
But here goes Garrett Wilson.
Okay, all right. So that was a good rep, and I know for a fact the safeties with Buffalo have KOs. So he put it in a great place. He caught the ball in stride. He was a couple of steps behind the play, and the DB was not able to knock the ball out. So I'm kind of impressed by that rep. That was good looking. I liked it.
In the second year, man, he's breaking tackles. He's cooking them on routes, and he's in the end zone, and he's going to put a little dance together in front of Bills Mafia. That's not something they're going to like. But Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers together.
That touchdown splash is still real clean. I like how that looks. I don't care about this. It takes too much time. And this replay is not going to be in probably user interaction, so I like that. Now, I know for a fact he doesn't have a KO, but the fact that he's running smack dab into a DB, that's the type of interaction that should happen. He runs into him, the ball comes out. It's similarly in the flat. I don't know if flats are going to be an issue this year. Again, that's something we're gonna have to figure out once the game drops. But I like that. That was a pretty cool interaction.
And what a play by the DB from New York. And here on third down, there's an open man for the Bills, but somehow the ball hit.
I hate that. You can't tell me that QBs just don't know how to get it. And this is something that you really can't control as a user. I understand realism and I understand making a game, play a particular way. So, but that's the type of dice roll you just can't have. Imagine if something is really on the line and you throw a pass that hits a lineman in the back of the head. Like that's a simple throw for quarterbacks to make. It's just that type of animation is beyond me. I don't get it.
It's off the head of the offensive lineman. So unfortunate for Josh Allen there. The Jets defense is loving it. They're talking a little bit between the plays. Again, I like the little touch of realism.
You know what? I'm gonna backtrack on the statement I made. Okay, I kind of do like the interactions as long as they're quick. I do like the little BS talk between DBs and receivers after a play. I kind of like it. But what I don't want to do is slow down my mental momentum in the game. Meaning, if I'm in offensive, I'm rolling offensively, it's clicking. I don't want animations between plays to slow down my thinking. I want to keep rolling. So if I had to have it one way or the other, I would prefer not to have it than to have an animation after a play slow down my offensive flow. Just me, but
would like to see more stuff like that in the game.
That's a dot. Okay. Wide open.
Another one of those new
All right.
acquisitions for the Jets. We're gonna go to the ground here with Breece Hall, and with the upgraded
That's a block.
this year, I definitely think this will be
It's a nice juke.
game. I think it's gonna
I mean,
be a game where you
there's a good run.
and you can pass.
I mean,
The run
nothing to
is
write home
better than
about,
last
but
year. The pass I think is about the same, but they definitely tinkered with some of the man defense meta to.
That's man
make it
coverage.
not as powerful.
Yeah, I'm liking it because the first thing you kind of have to figure out every year is how to beat man, because it's always so overpowered. Press just destroys your receiver no matter what it is. If guys day one can't press you into oblivion, it's going to be a lot of guys that's going to be real hard pressed to find actual defense in the game, and I can appreciate that. I need people to try on defense because I think that makes a better game personally.
As last year, and there's Garrett Wilson making another huge play over the middle. His route running is absolutely sick. Here goes Garrett Wilson.
That's a flat. I don't really know what defense he was in, but that was wide open.
And we're gonna try to go to a screen here, but the
Oh,
Bills
okay.
knock the ball out, and there you're seeing some of those new.
Was that an insta-shed? Let me go back and look at that. Let me go back a little bit further.
Well, his route running is absolutely sick. Here goes Garrett Wilson again. I mean, this is going to be A-Rod's new favorite target if you can't tell already. And we're going to try.
Oh, it was a screen. I didn't even see that part of it. Okay, that was a screen. Yeah. I mean, nothing home to write about.
Not happy with that one. We're going to watch the replay here. I want you to see just kind of how quick they were able to dive onto the fumble. You know, a lot of times in years past, they would run over the fumble and just kind of completely miss it. So that is definitely
Oh, that's actually a good point that he made. Yeah, typically the defender will like kick it around or do some weird stuff when the ball comes out. Like he hopped on it and that was it. I like that. I like that because there's so many fumbles that you'll miss or lose in a weird pile because your guy got there first. And it's not organic in the way football is actually played. I mean, yeah, there's times where a guy will hop on the ball and the ball will kind of bounce around and stuff like that. But in a situation like that where there's nobody around him, 9 times out of 10, he's going to get that ball. And that's not always the case when it comes to Madden.
nice fix to the game, in my opinion. But we're bringing the heat here, and we trip up Josh Allen. He did break.
That was a weird animation. He broke the sack and then tripped. I don't really know what to think about that animation, other than that it's really bad. I don't know. I guess conventional thinking is if he got there, he should have got the sack. But if he breaks the sack, why would he then still? Because it wasn't like he like put his arm out to like trip him or something like that. The animation just dictated after he broke the sack that he went down. So I don't know. Weird animation.
The sack momentarily, but we wound up tripping him up anyway. And you could see him getting up here, and he's kind of limping a little. He's showing you that he felt that one. Bumping into the players here again, like those little nice touches. It makes the game feel a little bit more alive, right? Like there's still more things they can do with Madden to make it feel more alive.
It's a dot.
But that's one step closer to it.
Yeah, everybody's gonna be playing with the Jets. This team is kind of stacked. Wheel route, he stayed with it. Oh, that's a dot. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that. Let fast players be fast. If I got McCole Hardman on a DB that should not keep up with him in man coverage in a one-on-one situation like that where there's nobody else to help, yeah, let him burn him. If I'm silly enough or stupid enough to think that I can just do that all game, yeah, I should have a touchdown every single time. I'm not mad at that.
He's spiking the ball and he's getting absolutely amped up with his teammate Garrett Wilson in the end zone. The Jets, I think, are going to be a fun team to watch this year. They're going to be high powered. We already know they got
everyone is going to use the Jets in regs. Everyone.
Fun to watch, just like it is here in Madden. But look, the Bills aren't done yet, and they're going to Stephon Diggs, one of the best receivers in the game. They get down into field goal range, and they're able to actually tackle.
So if he does it like he did it last game, I guess he'll switch. Yeah. Yep.
The same scenario. We're down 11, 14-3. Let's see if we can come back with just these 3-minute quarters, which does not give us a lot of room for error. And just like that on the first
Tight's getting used. I mean,
but that was an inaccurate pass.
Not bad.
And you're going to notice a lot more inaccurate passes.
This is definitely going to be a zone year.
Throw the ball away under pressure again, and we're actually going to get penalized.
Yeah, you just missing reads. You had some reads. You had some no open guys.
As you can see, they're on the field every play, so I know some people are happy to see that.
Hold up, am I the only one that doesn't give an absolute shit about refs being on the field? It can't just be me. Am I the only weirdo? Let me know. If you think refs in the game are a good addition, please let me know in the comments. Because for me, I don't care if they're on the field or not. I don't care about that type of realism. The realism I care about is gameplay. Just me.
Open here, the Jets are locking us up, and we're gonna have to punt the ball. So this is not looking good. The Jets are a little amped up there, as they should be, and we need to get the ball back, but we're not off to a good start here, as the Jets are looking like they did in the first half. They're putting in some work right here. We're gonna stop the run though with some good run defense.
Okay, that's good run defense right there.
Something to get the ball back. If we let up 3, not too big of a deal, but we cannot let up a touchdown here. They're going for a screen. We're able to hit A-Rod. They're gonna go for a long.
Yeah, them screenplays where you used to have a lot of time to kind of let it develop and kind of get into it, even though the linemen are coming and you can drift, pretty far back. Like now, these linemen are getting upfield. If you are running a screen, you got to get it to that running back relatively quickly, which if you're a user doesn't leave a lot of decision making time for you to either spike it into the ground, throw it away, or throw the screen. So even though the whoever's user on that running back isn't psychic per se, it doesn't leave a lot of time. Like if you notice it as a user, you can hop on it and you can make him make a real quick decision, which a lot of times can turn into an interception. So I kind of like that. It's not OP.
Field goal here, as their line's gonna miss wide right. So we're still very much alive, but we only have 1 quarter left to make things happen. So we can't mess up anymore.
That's a dot.
We got Diggs, and DJ Reed makes an amazing.
Oh, that was a good play. It was. This has always been a problem with me for DB wide receiver interaction in the Madden. In my opinion, he made the right decision on that play. He was beat. The only thing he could do, and if you've ever played football, you use the long arm. He used the long arm in order to get a pass defense right there. That was all he had left. Outside of that, that was a touchdown. Now, as a quarterback or a user, what you got to do, you got to throw that ball way out there so that you can let your receiver run under the ball and create a little bit more separation between the receiver and the DB. So I like that. I liked that rep a lot.
Something else you'll definitely notice this year, the DBs definitely get a little bit more air when they go up for the swats. They definitely can swat passes that they could not swat in the past.
That's good.
So you got to be careful there. We have Deontay Hart.
Yeah, he's wide open. Boom.
Yep. Saint there. Now with the Bills,
another good interaction. He was open. I felt like he kind of stopped a little bit because of the animation, but it didn't cause him from not making the catch. So that to me is the difference. If the animation stops you and causes you to either not run through the ball or gives the DB a chance to catch up and kind of knock the ball out, that's really where I have kind of my issue with it. But that was a good rep.
Makes a huge play to give the Bills some life, and now we got Gabe Davis, and we're trying to move the ball. We're gonna have to no huddle here. We don't have a lot of time. We want to score before the 2-minute warning. We're in the zone with Josh Allen. We've got Cook in the flat. He's wide open, and
Yeah, that was a simple read. The linebacker Mosley had to come from across the field to cover a flat going in the opposite direction. That was an easy read. It makes sense. Um, I mean, not really a whole lot to write home about on that rep, but again, it was still a good rep in comparison to sitting in man coverage and guys not being able to make plays. I enjoyed it.
We've got life. We are back in the game, and Bills Mafia is going crazy. We're going to do one of the new celebrations that's in the game here. They added a ton of new celebrations, which is cool to see. I kind of like that stuff. Now, we're going for 2 because we want to bring this within 3, and we're going to have Hardy once again on the whip route. He catches it.
Yep.
What a big play.
Yeah, I liked it.
2 big catches
I liked
on
it.
that drive, and now he's going to do a little dance. He's going to get sturdy in front of Bills Mafia. Bills Mafia is going crazy right now as Hardy's getting sturdy. One of the new
Zone games, in my opinion, just play so much better. Anytime there's been a zone meta, I've always enjoyed that game. I'm a zone guy myself. I don't typically like to sit man. I like to control my area as a user and let my DBs play, well, hopefully play the things that they're supposed to play, and I just man my area of the field. I feel like man coverage is just, and I'm sorry for anybody that's watching this video that sits in man all game. To me, it's not how I prefer to play Madden personally, but I just think it's such a bailout with thinking that you're good at the game when the game is just not playing the way it should. Just my personal opinion. I'm sorry if your opinion may differ, but just me.
celebrations. And here go the Jets. They're trying to run the clock out as they should. And we see
Good
them
defense.
here, and the worst
Flag?
thing possible happened to them. They get a
Holding. Well, that's not gonna happen in mud. So
we just gotta hold tight here. Don't let them
solid run defense.
Run, and we should be okay. He gets
Oh,
caught up there.
you know what? Didn't mind that. Usually when a running back runs into the back of offensive lineman, usually it creates some type of weird vortex where users get caught up in it, or computer get caught up in it, and the running back ends up going for a big play. But right here, after he cleared it, they were able to make a tackle. Most Maddens in the past, that ends up being a much bigger play than what that was. So I hope that carries. It carries into the game. I hope that carries into the game. I liked it.
Offensive line. So now we're gonna get the ball back. Money drop time, and we're in the zone with Josh Allen. We don't have a lot of time left, but we got enough time to at least tie this. But we're going for the win. But you know what? The Jets defense has been good all day, and everything's covered. We're going to try to check it down under pressure.
That's picked.
It's an inaccurate pass, and it's actually picked off. So we won the first game. We sold in the second game, unfortunately, and the Jets get the W. Now,
what I did like about that, and let's go back to the full screen. What I liked about that was I didn't have an issue with that. I didn't have an issue with the gameplay. I didn't have an issue with anything that was going on in that game per se. Now, am I going to say this is going to be a perfect game? No. Do I think it's going to be better than 23? Yes. I think we are really going to have a solid Madden to begin with. Now, are they going to patch it into the ground? Probably. So I got to say that I'm hoping that we have at least a couple of solid months of good gameplay until the bots kind of complain about things that they shouldn't, and they make a bunch of different changes that they shouldn't. And I'm also hoping, because of the rollout, and I seen a good rep, I seen a couple of bad reps. I don't know what contains are going to look like in the game. I don't know what outside edge heat is going to look like in the game just yet, but I am hoping that the first really fast quarterback we get, it doesn't break the game. So all in all, I like the gameplay. You can call me a optimist or idealist or whatever, but I think the gameplay was pretty solid, and I'm kind of excited about getting my hands on the game. So appreciate y'all sitting with me through this. If you have not followed the channel, please make sure you do so. Sub, comment, do all the things you do on a YouTube channel. I'm also going to be streaming on Kick at BKS Bully NYC. I'll have a link in the description. More than likely, I'll kind of put something somewhere, maybe like right here, saying, kind of where I'm at. But appreciate y'all. See y'all in the next one. Peace.